he not here today?
No, he is. He just was going to do something. I'm his student teacher, so just getting it started. So those of you that have them, you guys should be able to add to them today. We're going more into chapter 2. Yes, Saber? You're lucky. I actually do have one today. Little mini, oh wow, that's rare. Little mini review, eyes up here, look at the world regions. These are important to know when I'm asking you guys to find like clusters of certain things on a map. Right, Canada, United States, Caribbean. What is the area? Latin America, they all speak Spanish, right? Brazil, different sections of Africa, Australia, the cold area up north, Siberia. So these are the different sections, right? We're going to go into population distribution. You guys should have learned about the 4 clusters in the world, right? The consequences of population distribution, how they are composed, how it works together. The DTM, you guys remember Malthusian theory? That was with Thomas Malthus, the Thanos guy. Thought we didn't have enough room. We watched this video already. So here are the titles. We have where the world's people distributed. You guys already have that one written down on your thing. Why is the world population increasing? Why do some places face health challenges? And why might population increase in the future? So we've already gone over some of those ideas, right? With our thresholds and the medical revolution and the agricultural revolution. But today we're going to be talking about population and health, the concentration of that population, and the density. You guys know what I mean when I'm saying density? How dense something is? How much it's packed into one space? You guys are like 20 of you in an elevator, that's really dense. So if you guys see stuff written in yellow, we should be writing it down. So over here, you guys should have on your left side of your paper, you should have overpopulation, right? That was in the book. If you guys were doing the notes the correct way, overpopulation was bolded in the book. Here's a good definition for you. You also should write carrying capacity, which is how much we can support with our resources. So if we get people over our carrying capacity, what would that be? What's that called?
Overpopulation.
Exactly. When we have too many people past our carrying capacity, it is overpopulation. You guys see something in yellow, you should all be writing it down. It means it's important information, something you guys need to know. So that makes you have the definition for carrying capacity, how much people the land can support with its finite resources. Do you guys know what the word finite means? Anyone have a guess? Do you know what it means? Finite? Have you heard the word infinite? What does infinite mean? Like, as much as you could imagine, 10 minutes. And then finite is the opposite, right? It means it ends. It's a limited resource. They're finite. So make sure we have those yellow definitions written down. You guys should have already had overpopulation in there from the book. Remember, the terms in red are not found in the book, but they're terms we need to know. No, you're good. Oh.
So you guys should, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you hit upon this. Overpopulation is in the book, but what term is not in the book? What does our coloring system tell us? Yeah, so if you read that section, carrying capacity was in the book, but how we said that a lot in class with different activities and ed puzzles and stuff like that, so hopefully that's not brand new for you. So that would not be in your notes from just your textbook.
Which means we should write them down right now. There's a cool little map. This is the different colors of the world are the different billions. So in the Americas, we have 1 billion. Right here, Europe and Russia and the Middle East, 1 billion. But look here, they have 3 different sections of China split into 1 billion. There's 3 billion people in China. It's a cool graphic that shows you how the world is, how it's split up. Here's another one. Do you remember what kind of map this is? Do we read the bottom? Yeah, hey, way to read. Way to look at the board. Yes, this is a cartogram, right? Remember the cartograms use the different sizes to show us the data that's being shown. Based on this map, what data is being shown based on the size? The world population. Thank you. So what is the most populous country? And then what's second? If you guys looking at this, you should know this also in your head. We know India is number 1. What is the second most populated country? China, right? If you look on this map, we see all of this space.
I'll probably make those test questions. As far as just knowing the most populous country, that's something we should probably know, yes?
Can we take a note?
Yes, wait, well, if you didn't, so right now, if you're just walking in, last week we took notes on this section from the textbook, yes? So a lot of this would be redundant, so you should have those out and add to it, right? So if you don't have those from the textbook, start off fresh. Stefan.
So what's the third most populous country looking at this? That's one more thing we should know. We know India, China, number 3.
Stefan.
Ricky, you got this. Just look at the map. Give me a guess. It's okay. United States. You're 100% right. United States, the third most populous country. What you guys don't know about Indonesia, that's number 4. We can go on to the list, but. So here's here's the list, right? We got 1, 2, and 3, India, China, USA. Number 4, Indonesia. Number 5, Pakistan. You guys probably didn't know those two. Maybe not have even heard of those countries before. You've heard of it? I hope you guys have, but I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt. So what factors, if we're looking on this board, our words have helped contribute to that much growth in India? If we look behind us, over here at the population, which one of these contributes to how many babies are born? I heard over there, what was that? TFR, right? Or total fertility rate. So here, India was having much more babies per woman, right? What is the name of the policies that are used to keep you from having more babies? China has a very famous one. The one baby policy, right? The one child policy in China.
One child policy. Learn
What are
that term.
those called? What is the term used for them? Anti-what policies? I know we've heard them.
Starts with an N. Take the needle out of your arm. Put it there.
So they're anti-natalist policies. We have to remember that. So if you guys don't have that written down, maybe I'd write that down. Anti-natalist policies. They're against babies being born. They want less babies born.
Well, we adding more to our notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously.
It is warm.
But, okay, it's been 10 minutes. Go. Here's another example of population distribution. What is our scale of analysis on this map? Let's go back a little bit. What are these? No, what are we looking at? Where's the data? How is the data distributed?
What is the scale of analysis?
No, that's the geographic scale, right? This is a country.
That's a single country. So the geographic scale is national, but what are the little parts that are different colors? States. So we call
exactly.
that what scale of analysis?
Regional.
Oh, it's kind of.
Yeah, subnational.
It's
Exactly.
been erased.
So subnational, typically like the provinces or the states of the country.
Smaller parts of a country equals subnational.
But what do we notice about this map? What do we notice? Where are most of the people located in America? California, Texas,
Go.
Florida.
Florida too. What's this country up here?
New Hampshire.
I mean, not country. What's this state? Not New Hampshire. Think about it. What's a populous state? What's the most populous city in America?
Oh, New York.
New York.
Yeah, you may not know this, but you guys heard like Long Island? Have you guys heard of Long Island before, like New York? Do you see this little?
That. Yeah.
What is this region called? Do you guys remember that of the United States? Northeast, yes.
Exactly.
So do we see a cluster there?
Yeah. You guys see throughout the middle of the country how dark green this is? Not a lot of people live there. Not a lot of population distribution. You guys know what the most populous state is in the United States?
New York.
It is California. Yep, California is the most populous state. So, What is the scale of analysis of this map?
Local.
Not local, a little bit further up. There's a term.
Local is a broad term that is correct, but
Yeah, exactly. These are the counties map. You
you're
guys,
right, Matthew. You're right. It's just to be specific, it's a local count at the county level.
yeah. So one trick you guys can use is know what San Diego County looks like, right? Where that little square, whoops, where that little square right there in the bottom left-hand corner of the United States, or the southwest corner of the United States. So on this map, do you guys see the blue counties?
Yes.
Do you see all the gray counties? So the blue counties is 50% of the population. So half of the United States lives here, here, all these areas, and the other half is in there. What are these little blue areas? Can someone tell me, are they rural or urban areas? Urban, right? Where do all the people live? What are those, where do people live? In cities,
Ever
right?
since the Industrial Revolution, cities,
Exactly.
rural to urban migration.
You guys can even see, we have like San Diego, LA, the Bay Area,
Simmer down.
Seattle, you got like New York, all these Florida metro areas, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas. See all the cities through there, right? What's the scale of analysis on this one? Say it again, Matthew. And the exact word? Counties, right? It's counties. So we can see where people are distributed, right? They're all in the cities, especially since the Industrial Revolution. You guys can see San Diego, LA, and the Bay Area, Central Valley, like Fresno, Bakersfield, all these cities. That's one down here. But you guys see how they are distributed, right? We can see how many people. Right here, the color is how many people per square mile. So there's 5,000 people in 1 square mile. It's pretty dense. So we learned about this yesterday, but if you guys don't have this in your notes, I would add it. If you didn't start your notes, I would add this. The 4 main population clusters. We have East Asia. When we think of countries in East Asia, there's like China, North and South Korea. What's another famous one we need to know in East Asia? It says it up there, if you look up there. East Asia. Japan, right? So I want you guys to make sure we're writing down the 4 major clusters, and we're having those 3 to 4 countries that are very important. So in East Asia, it's about half and half. Half the people live in urban cities, and half people still live in more rural farmlands. Then we move on to South Asia, with India, you guys have all heard of, right? That's the most populous country. And then Pakistan and Bangladesh. Most people in that area are still living rural, which means they're developing. So a lot of those countries would be what? MDCs or LDCs? LDCs, right? Because they're developing. You got that right? Yeah. Yeah. So Europe. Europe is the 3rd major cluster. About 3/4 of it's in urban cities, urban populations. You guys heard of cities like London, like Rome, like Paris, like Brussels, like Berlin. Europe, their population is concentrated into cities. And then Southeast Asia, countries like Indonesia, Philippines, and then Indochina, which is like Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, that area. Do we know what the word sparsely means? If something is a sparsely populated region, do a lot of people live there or do not a lot of people? Yeah, not a lot of people. When you hear sparsely, that means not a lot of people are living there. So the examples of that, we have too dry, like deserts, right? There's no water, there's no fresh water so you can live. There's no rivers, no lakes. Example of that's like the Sahara Desert. Too wet, like in Amazon, like the rainforest. Hey Mark, let him do his stuff. He's paying attention. Don't distract the people. So another example, too cold, like the Arctic or Siberia, what we learned about. Or too high, if you're up in high elevation areas, the mountains, right? There's not as good soil, there's no coastlines, it's hard to have transportation. And one more important thing to learn is that the majority of the population lives in mid-latitudes. So we're not living in the extreme latitudes up north or up south where the weather is this good. The majority of the world's population live in those middle latitudes. So make sure you guys know what the 4 population clusters. I would have these written down, have some countries to remember, help me remember them.
I definitely know like the top 2 countries or so, yeah.
Yeah. And for Europe, I would put cities, because a lot of it's sectioned in cities, those famous cities you've all heard of.
And you guys will have You guys have access to
Yeah,
this
let's
on your agenda. Like, you will have this. We just went, it's all good. But you guys get distracted on your computer sometimes or phones.
Yeah. So looking over here, it's just another visual, right, to show us the 4 clusters. So what country is this right here? The most populous country in the world. And what are the 2 countries next to it? I had mentioned them in South Asia. But if we heard of, we know what this country is next to it? Probably not. Pakistan and Bangladesh, right? Those are the other 2 big players in South Asia with a lot of people.
I know that.
You know what? I just realized I'm only got like a drill foot.
Dude, I wanted that.
Let's do it.
Because I saw Hans Rosling had it on
Yes,
his thing.
I
He's
want
just
to know
like,
this. Hey, really quick, I'm just curious. Mountain ranges. Do people live in tall mountains or do we technically avoid them?
Can we avoid them?
Yes, okay. What mountain range is right here? Does anybody know?
The biggest mountain in the world is there.
I don't know if your science class is going into tectonic plates. Is science going into tectonic plates right now?
Starts with H.
Okay. Starts with an H. What mountain range
I
is
heard
here?
someone say it.
The
The
Himalayas.
Himalayas.
Very good. I'm just
Oh,
curious if you
yeah.
guys know your mountain ranges at all. Anybody? How about United States? Anybody know what mountain range is like around here?
Baseball team named after it.
Yeah.
What?
It,
Diamondbacks?
the Rockies. I was just curious.
If we look over here where there's not a lot of people, what big dry area is that?
Desert.
What's the name of the desert? The most famous desert? The Sahara Desert. What about
is
down
it?
here?
Yeah, what is this desert called? Good restaurant, good.
Yeah,
good,
bloomin' onion.
Bloomin' onions.
Cheesy bacon fries.
You guys been there?
I've been to the restaurant named after it.
You guys ever been to the Outback Steakhouse?
Oh.
Pretend to be like all Australian.
Yeah,
Never
good
had
day,
bloomin'
mate.
onion? Bloomin' onions are good.
Exactly.
Did we go over this one?
Oh no, we haven't. Do we know
Oh, so we're
what?
still in the thunder. Oh, actually, we did.
Actually, the next one has that.
Yeah, that's right.
Or we'll see. But yeah, we go here. We got the light, the population distribution. Where's the fun one? I want to
No,
see.
you can't use that.
Maybe when she's back.
It's never happened.
Yeah, exactly. So here's an example of our clusters again, right? The 4 main clusters.
Tell me not to disappear.
You guys need to remember this: East Asia, China, Japan, Korea; South Asia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh; Southeast Asia's got Indonesia. Those other buddies over there. Oh, here's a cool graph to show us like where people are living, right, based on latitude. So if we see up here, how many people are living here? How many people are living in this latitude? Where's the lines? None, right? Down here, none. But if we go to the middle, majority of the people are living on this latitude and this latitude. What country do we meet up at? Right here. India, exactly, right? This is just showing us where the population is mainly clustered at, right? And how it's distributed. It's showing us that the mid-latitudes, in the middle of the earth, are where majority of the population lives. We can't live down here where it's freezing cold, or up here where it's freezing cold.
Or too hot along the equator.
Exactly. That's why there's way less people right here. Oh, this is a cool one. So you guys, inside this ring, there's more people in there than the rest of the world around it. So that means there's, I'd say like what, 4 or 5 billion people in here.
Why don't you put those laws on there, like 4 babies?
I'm sorry, Deb, what is the law for, that's a great comment. What is it called when we want to reduce the amount of babies? What is the government called? Antinatalist.
Antinatalist.
What country has the most popular, most famous antinatalist policy?
China.
China's in that circle.
Yeah, they're right there.
Yeah, but like India.
India did forced sterilization of women without them even knowing it.
Yeah.
So where do we see antinatalist policies the most? In that circle. In South Asia, East Asia, Southeast Asia.
And they are less developed, which has caused that population growth. But they're in the process of developing.
Hey, really quick, we talked about that video, the great comments, by the way. We talked about that, remember the religions and babies video? Who has high total fertility? More advanced countries or less developed countries? Less developed countries, because what kind of jobs do they have in less developed countries? Are they more agrarian? Yeah, agrarian means agriculture based. And then again, in the agricultural societies, children are needed to work what? The fields, yes? And you need a high amount of babies to help you run the fields, yes? So they're seen as like an economic asset in this part of the world. So it's really hard to tell people to have fewer kids especially if your government doesn't have programs to support you when you're older, right? Because if you don't have a pension plan or retirement plan, what will you do if you're poor? You'll pump out a bunch of babies. Oh, one of them is rich and will take care of you, right?
Yeah.
That's what Ricky's plan is, yeah?
Good question though, Andrew.
Yeah, very good.
This is another word. You guys might have saw it in our book. You might have not understood it. That ecumen. It's where all the people pretty much live, right?
Don't worry about that term. You don't care
Yeah,
about that.
not as important. Here's kind of what we were talking about earlier. Why were people not living here?
Because it's dry.
But what's there?
Desert.
The Sahara Desert,
Try to
right?
learn our specifics. Try to learn the real world examples.
Why are people learning here in this real world example? We've learned about that region.
Starts with an S.
Wait, what is it?
Big forest, big huge forest in Russia.
Cold.
This was on your world regions quiz. You guys remember that? All you guys who got 100%? Oh, we
Where the
forget so quick.
gulags are.
Ben?
Siberia. Good job, Ben. What about over here? We just talked about these mountain range. What is this mountain range where it's really high elevation? How many people live there? The Himalayas. Thank you.
Anybody know that desert in China, in East China, where it says dry?
They won't get that.
Starts with a G. See, you need you got a few dorks.
These Silk Road.
Gobi Desert. Or the Taklamakan. That's my favorite desert. We used to lecture and you have to say it very angry. Taklamakan. It's a fun one to say. You guys should try it. Taklamakan. And I think it translates to like those who enter do not leave.
No. We know it's too cold up here in northern Canada, right? And remember, these are the Rocky Mountains. I mean, it's very, very sparsely populated. So this is important. Everyone should get out their pencils, start writing this down.
Multiple test questions right here. This is what you need to know walking away today.
This is like the core of what we've been talking about this whole time, right? Where people are distributed, ultimately will tell us how dense an area is. So, density equations compares a country's population, their food security, and their development. So the first one we need to know, arithmetic density. This is simple. This is just the people divided by the land area. It tells us how crowded an area is. It's easy to compare other countries, but all it's telling us is how big a country is and how many people it has, how many people per square mile, square kilometer. So arithmetic density, it's like the most basic of it all.
In America, are we highly dense in that regard? Basically, arithmetic density is just density, but nobody says arithmetic.
Yeah.
Okay? Is America highly dense or not so dense?
Highly dense.
Have you been to Kansas?
Wait, no, actually no.
Is America, then this is basically, is America a big place?
No.
Yeah, America's huge.
Huge.
We'll get it one day, Ricky. We'll get it one day. So just think about this. In big areas, you're not going to be so dense.
Exactly.
So like if all of us in this classroom were outside of the football field, we'd have a lot of space, right? But when we're in here, we're a little more dense. We don't have as much space. I feel like one person per area.
Where's the best spot to be at and live at?
Oh, that's a good question there.
You know, I just saw a video that said San Diego, California leads the world for most comfortable days in the year.
Wow.
So
Because
this,
we're a mid-latitude.
exactly.
Yeah, but like, it's so expensive.
Well,
Yes.
because we have the most comfortable days in the
So
year.
it depends on what you define and what
But
your
I'm talking
standard
like
of living.
overall, like.
You gotta balance it out, right? Where you have good weather and good affordability.
Well, Andrew's having good questions. Is you have multiple factors? Yes, affordability, weather, arable land, which is variety of food, culture could be important to some certain people. Yes. Okay.
So the second type of density, physiological density. That is taking the people divided by the arable land. Do you guys know what arable land means? If land is arable, that means it is suitable for farming. It is able to be farmed. It is good enough for farming. So this one is basically telling us how many people does the good land need to support. So we'll show you an example after this. So it's pretty much telling us how many people do we need good land for, right? So if it's not enough, what do countries need to do? They don't have enough, they have too many people and not enough good land, enough arable land. How will they get their food? It says it up on the slides.
If you can't grow your food,
What's
what do
other
you need
ways
to
you
do?
can get it?
Who should be a new
Fish.
victim? Who should be a new victim? David, never heard from David today. If you can't grow enough food, how else can you get your food? Look at the slides, by the way, if you can't think about it. No, it's on the,
Import food.
import food,
food.
or
Fish.
Fish.
you don't need arable land to fish, you need good fisheries.
You need water.
That's actually a word, by the way, fisheries. You just don't need water, you need,
Yeah, you need
you
water
get
with
in the
the
Gulf
fish.
of America / Mexico and all the fertilizers there and it's killed all life. There's nothing there. Because humans suck.
Make it quick. Let's not take the whole time. And then agricultural density, which is the amount of farmers per arable land. So you could have a crap ton of arable land, a bunch of farming land, but do you have any farmers for that land? How many farmers per section of arable land do you have? So this could be a good development indicator, right? So what would it mean if a country had a lot of arable land, a lot of people, a lot of land itself, but they don't have a lot of farmers? What are they doing there? Their farming number is low, but the amount of arable land is high. Exactly, they're using technology. So they've removed people from the farm, so they need less people, and they have more technology. When did we get that technology?
How about this, like what event, I guess you said,
Yeah.
a project introduced mechanization of agriculture?
Which event in history?
What event led to machines? Come on, you guys, from doing that project, you better get this one right. The Industrial Revolution gave us
Exactly.
machines, yes? And did those machines go to the farms? Go like this. And we call that the second agricultural revolution. So places that have mechanized their farms, the amount of workers on farms goes. Yeah, machines doing the work, right?
Yeah, so they'd have a lower agricultural density.
Places that don't have machines, the amount of farmers go.
We all have that written down. So this is a little thing, so I guess arithmetic density, which is just people divided by land. You guys see the lighter countries, they have a lot, they're less dense. They have a lot more room, right? Traditionally the bigger countries, they have a lot of room for all those people.
That's why India is crazy. Look how big India is and it's still that dense.
Yeah, exactly. So there, that just shows how many people are actually living there, right? China too.
If we zoomed in at scales of analysis, if we zoomed in at India, will they have rural areas that doesn't have a lot of people? Yeah, they still pack it into cities and stuff,
Yeah.
so just understand scales of analysis still.
What's like a major city in India?
Delhi.
Delhi.
New Delhi. Amritsar. Calcutta.
What's one else thinking? Oh, so here's a little graph. You guys really probably haven't heard of any of these countries, but they're called city-states or micro-states. These are countries that are so small that no matter what, on all of our density lists, they're always going to be up at the top. Because they're so small, but they have a certain amount of people in there that their density is going to be high no matter what. So
They're seriously just like a city.
Yeah.
That's how big they are, a micro state.
there's a cool one you guys will see next that compares it to Mount Miguel, and it'll really put it into perspective for you guys. But cities like Monaco, which have a crap ton of money, and they're like France and stuff, they're the most densely populated because they're just one city that's considered a country with all those people living in there. So if you don't have those rural areas around your city, you're going to come down as more dense.
Has anybody seen James Bond, Casino Royale? One of my favorite James Bond movies. No? I guess you. So Monaco, you guys should look this up. It's the richest place in the world. There's all these yachts. It's a very tourist destination for the world's elite.
Yeah.
And so they just pack it in there. It's always very crowded. And that's why you see such density there.
Yeah, if you guys seen F1 races, it's a big F1 race there, Monaco Grand Prix. And then there's one on this list that isn't a microstate. It's Bangladesh, which they have all that room, but yet they still are extremely dense because they have a lot of people. So here's little things showing us, right? You can see this is so right here. You can see how. Oh, whoops.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend too much time on
Yeah. So you see Luxembourg, right? Super small on the map, and you see how many other city-states can fit in there, like Malta, Andorra, Singapore. There's Monaco, Vatican.
that.
all super
Look
small.
how small the Vatican is on that map. That tiny little purple dot.
It's for the Pope.
Yeah. It's not Luxembourg, we just brought them to Luxembourg to show you, but check this out.
So this is your guys' school, Mount Miguel, and this is the Vatican City layered on top of it. So you guys see this like where we're at down here, kind of.
Do you see the highway in Blossom?
Yeah,
Wait, we're bigger than.
an entire country, even though it's not that.
Here's the 100s, 200s, and 300s, you guys see that? So our school is bigger than Vatican City.
You have to go there, okay?
Sure.
Yeah, you go check out the Sistine Chapel.
And Ninja Turtle painted it.
Here's what I was talking about with Bangladesh. So look, the population of Russia, all these people in this giant area, is less than the population in this area right here. You guys see this tiny little country, Bangladesh? So it is that much more. It's like the size of Alabama in America. And it's the 92nd largest country in the world, but it has the 8th highest amount of people in the world. So it's a crazy amount of dense. Yeah.
Oh, we got Barry on too.
Well, you know the small city that we just seen?
Yeah, Vatican.
That's like the size of the quad.
I think probably a little bigger than the quad. But yeah, because this is the quad right there.
It's seriously like the size of those long buildings, though, 100s and 200s.
Yeah.
Well, compared to the football field, it's like the size of.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's not that big.
Well, it's
So,
not big, they down,
when you guys hear physiological density, I want you to remember one country. Remember Egypt. So next to physiological density, I want you guys to write down Egypt with a little star next to it. Because this is the best example of physiological density. So
I'll probably make that a test question. Associate Egypt with physiological density.
so we're looking at this map. What do we notice about Egypt? Is it mostly like green or brown desert? It's mostly desert, right? It's all desert. Besides this area right here, who knows what that is right there? We talked about it.
Wait, what?
Right here. What is this causing this green over here in Egypt?
What brings green to that desert of Egypt? Come on,
We
you guys
talked
know.
about it before. The famous river in Egypt,
Nile.
the Nile River, right? So the Nile River flows along and it kind of floods out, has little floodplains around it. But that is where a lot of their agricultural arable land is. So that's the only place where the people of Egypt are really able to farm. They can't farm out here.
So the amount of arable land in Egypt is high or low? Look at the map. Is there a lot of green or very little green? There's very little, but does Egypt have a lot of people?
Yeah.
Does that put a big strain on that thin strip of green? Imagine if they have like one bad harvest. Is Egypt screwed? Well, they have to go fish.
Yeah, or import from other
Yes.
countries, right? So remember, when physiological density, we think of Egypt. Here's a little graph showing us agricultural density, which is the amount of farmers divided by arable farmland. So which countries have the most farmers still? And what does that tell us about them? Which areas are the darkest green?
Let's get
India,
somebody-
China,
let's
right?
get somebody- But King, what world regions have high agricultural density? Give me specific, just want to say Asia, not all Asia. East Asia,
East Asia. What's another region that we've learned about? Maybe somewhere over here.
Middle East.
Middle East.
So if you have a lot of farmers per arable land, what does that say about your technology? If you have a lot of farmers, is your tech high or low? Yeah, so basically is it showing low developed LDCs? They're showing low developed countries, and thus they probably don't have a lot of technology, so they have a lot of farms.
Exactly.
And if you have a lot of farmers, are you pumping out a lot of babies?
Exactly. So that's the end of our first section. We went over the population clusters, densities. A lot of that stuff you guys have already read. So I'm coming around. We're going to have a little worksheet to finish. Pretty much where we are calculating the density, and the physiological density, and the agricultural density of 5 countries. It's nothing too hard. Some simple math equations.
Poor BB.
So if you guys look,
No, BB's not alive. What do you do here? There you guys 90-day period. Come on, means.
So if you guys look up here, we see the 3 different types of density, and the arable land, we got our definitions, right? Arithmetic density, total population divided by land area. Physiological density is population divided by arable land. And then agricultural density is number of farmers divided by arable land area. Then we have definition for arable land, land that's capable of growing crops. So we're gonna go through, look at our chart. I see Egypt's population was 110 million. Divided that by its total land area, which is 1 million square blah 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 square kilometers.
You guys can get your phones for calculators or a computer, your choice.
Then we just divide them, right? We got 110. So Egypt's arithmetic density would be 110 people per square kilometer, you can say.
Total population divided by total.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the equation's right here for you guys.
That backlash is basically a factor. You ever seen a factor with a backlash? A numerator, the left is the numerator, the bottom or the right is the denominator. So you can get out your phones or your calculator, you just enter in that first number, divide by the second number.
Yeah, the divide sign makes it easy for you guys.
Yeah, where is my camera?
So let's go to the back really quickly. The next one is asking us to take physiological density, which is population divided by arable land area. So we go to the other side, we find our population, find our arable land, and then we divide. And you should get your answer.
There's some reflection questions.
Yep, exactly. So which country has the highest physiological density? I might have just answered that one before on the slides. And then the agricultural density, number of farmers divided by arable land area.
What if you have like 20 something?
Just round. Round to like the nearest 10. You guys don't finish this today, it becomes homework. I know we can do this.
You're getting easy points right now, rather than more social media.
Yeah, this is a pretty simple assignment, just simple division.
Canada?
Yes, that's one of the countries.
Canada's a country, right?
So total population, which is
The
what?
native zero.
So write it out. Guys, write out your work, please. If you make a mistake, we'll be able to figure it out what it is. I know I sound like a math teacher right now.
At least list the two numbers that you're working with.
Yeah, you don't have to show me how you divided them, but that way we can go back and see where you messed up if you did.
No long division.
Well, this one's pretty easy. Just
If I were to do this again, we stole this from Mr. Rangel, like I would have like a spot for like a chart, what do you call them, chart, like population, land, answer.
They know
And
gonna be our teacher too.
Like right there.
Say what?
That was gonna be our teacher.
Huh?
He was gonna be our teacher.
Oh, Mr. Frankie? Yeah, you guys got screwed. Could have had Young, Mr. Frankie, and then you got me. Grouchy old man.
Now I have to divide it, right?
Yes.
All these are division. But understand like how there's little changes, yes?
Wait, why did we switch?
There was a scheduling change of sorts for teachers. Pretty sure it was. So these will definitely be test questions, so definitely make sure you're comfortable with these. People divided by land. People divided by areable land.
What the?
Right. Is that area again?
Bro, no, it just started playing out of nowhere. My phone was really off.
So for number 6, guys, that's gonna be the number with the highest number.
Area has a haunted thing.
One, yeah, I got it, 3.8.
That's it.
Yeah.
For one of them.
That's what I got.
Makes sense for Canada, right? People live in that tundra.
Hey, these numbers mean nothing by themselves, but when you compare the values to different countries, that's when they make sense, yes? Like this country's high, this one's low. You're getting too bad. Area or bad influence.
What?
Distracting, look at you. We got grades coming out, taking your L on little assignment, not learning, choose not to learn.
You said it so much, you know.
You could do that work.
So it's gonna, yes.
Yeah, I did.
No. This one's total land area. So total land area. So each one of these is gonna tell you which two numbers. So this one, these are land area, so you're gonna do these
Two.
3 times.
I don't know, tell me the difference between
Population.
agricultural density and
Next one.
arithmetic density.
Okay.
Well, I just taught it like 3 different ways today, if we can't do that, we're not doing our job.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So you got 3.8 for Canada.
Oh, can we have a moment of silence for Scattaboo, please?
Oh.
Oh my gosh, I'm mad.
Twisted ankle.
Dude, that's not twisted ankle,
That's like, yo,
That pissed me off.
his foot straight up disappeared from that one angle, dude, his foot just was gone.
Caleb, you run that. Go pick
Hey,
up
Philip.
Tracy.
I had him in both leagues, so you know.
Oh.
you were straight.
Yeah. Wait, you didn't divide it. You time is not divided. So redo it.
That's my year. 5.15, and then Scattaboo goes in.
Oh, Mr. Ballister, I was just talking to him at the beginning of class. But I forgot to take Jackson out for the bar. And I'm still about to win.
wow, really?
So,
That's nice. That's cute.
yeah, bro, stop, bro, stop being a hater.
That's cute.
Should I go accidentally sneeze on Mary?
What?
Yeah, you should do that. She's like talking too much.
I'm not even serious, bro. Oh my god. He's always like, shut up.
Well, we have to answer the last question. Just do the work.
This is so
Good job, Mary. Self-regulation.
No, they have more. They
less. as a teacher, is that again, this is the first time I tried it. It was not great. It was a challenge. Could the kids like really hear this? I'm not trying to make it about hear this, but really read it. It says higher. Exactly. No way. But some of us assume they would go like show them exactly. Yeah, so I think when we read those, I think we're just shoot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, so which one of those numbers is the biggest? That'll tell you which one has the most people in a smaller area. Out of your answer, which is the biggest thing, but that's not the biggest from the business.
Hey, we'll be collecting this probably later this week, but if it's not finished, you can get one. If you don't do it, learn it, yes?